30.
Okay, so we are
He
going
talks to
to
us
go
now.
ahead and call the meeting to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Updates to the agenda. We have an email about a bench, so I'm just gonna put that as bench info. Anything else?
We will need an executive session to discuss personnel matter.
That's in there anyways, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it says if needed. We do need it.
We do
need
need
it
it, cross it
today.
out. Okay.
All right, so moving right along to public comment. Okay, moving right along to the budget report and review, which I believe is in our packet.
It is. Do you want me to put it up on the screen?
Yes. Not perfect.
Yeah, it's
So I will tell you that this is still kind of a rough budget that it needs a lot of tweaking yet. Teresa and I are going to spend some time to go through it because I think the total dollar amounts are correct, but where they are on line items aren't all right. So we're going to fix those. Because you'll notice under road department, like our poor road foreman's making nothing because his wages are getting reported underneath the road worker line. So, I will say we're under budget on that, and that's primarily because the first quarter of the year we did not have road crew staff. So that's probably a good reason why we're way below budget on that. Don't count on that next year.
yeah.
Oh, actually, I have to send this to Nick because he wants to know where he is on all of his other items. So under his supplies and equipment and all that good stuff, I did submit this week 2 different reimbursements for him. One was the Better Roads grant, and we're supposed to get about $8,000 back from that one. And then we have the grants and aid, which is $9,500 we should be getting back. So those revenue numbers will actually come in here as negative expenses, so they show up under his line items. So it makes his budget look really good. Did you guys have any questions on the road department before we move on?
I don't.
That money, Mike, that you'll be getting for those grants, does that stay in the road department or is that going to the general fund?
It'll come in as a negative revenue, and then we will, as we get closer to the end of the year, I think there's some line items that we're going to be considerably underspent on, and we could actually move some of those funds into reserve funds for next year. Because we didn't do as many projects this year because Nick was new. And so, but that's something we'll do in December. Is we'll go through and, anything that's grossly underspent that we think we could, do a project next year with that funding, we can move it into a reserve fund to cover that.
Okay, thank you.
Teresa's office, those people. I don't notice anything that's out of ordinary there. It's kind of standard. There was one thing in here that maybe it wasn't under this line item. No, I think that one's okay. Sheriff's Department, we're low right now, but I bet we probably are just waiting for a new bill to come in from him. So we'll see where we end up at the end of the year on that one. The municipal building, there is going to be some changes on that. What's underneath building and maintenance right now, there's $19,000 in there. Part of that is actually one of our MERP grant projects that's just coded incorrectly, so it needs to go on there, and I'm going to be submitting the reimbursement to MERP, and that is the hot water tank that went into town hall, and that's reimbursable at 100%, so we'll get all that back. The remainder of that, we will probably be overspent on that line item. Because that was the repair to the sewer line that came out the backside of the building.
So can you pause for just 1 second?
Sure.
I have like the negatives on the percentages.
Yeah, just kind of, I wouldn't go too hardcore on those because they're going to be they're
Okay. Yep, got it.
percentages I would ignore. I would look
I'm
at,
like, those numbers are just weird.
yeah, those made more sense earlier in the year. Now they're not. When we actually have overages, they don't show up quite.
And if the item shows in parentheses under the variance
Means, right, we are over budget on that.
over, meaning we've spent more on that.
More than what we
particular
budgeted.
line until okay.
And some of those are going to change, like the
Yeah.
building maintenance line will change.
Mhm.
And there is another line item that something we need to decide before the end of the year is, so that repair that happened outside the back of the building with the sewer line, we do have money set aside in the budget further down for the petroleum cleanup stuff around town hall, which I don't think we actually spent anything on this year. But I believe that repair could actually be considered part of that because they just never reconnected the sewer line. So, and that's $4,500, which takes care of the majority of that cost. So railroad depot, the normal operating expenses are fine on that. But there is a mistake in that maintenance repair should be way higher. Because underneath the fire department is a $30,000 repair charge was put into that building, but it's actually just under the wrong building because that was the heating system we had to install in depot.
Mhm.
And so what Teresa and I will correct that. It's not a big deal. And there is a reserve fund that will cover part of that. Rescue squad, I assume we'll be getting another big bill from them yet.
I guess they're gonna sign off on it tonight.
What was that?
Said they're gonna sign off on it tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, this is as of the end of August, so it's that time of year where all those big bills come in. And you'll notice, like, I didn't say that we haven't spent like the wages for the fire department. Well, those get paid out in November. Teresa does all those at the same time as the other things. So I don't account that we should have spent that yet. Otherwise, the fire department seemed fairly on point. Teresa, we do have another weird one here. We got to figure out what the fire truck reserve fund is. Is that just money that came out and went to the new fire truck, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, well, that's an odd dollar amount to be in there.
We haven't lights on those things yet, have we?
One sold.
Oh, one did, cool.
Mhm.
Who got that, Teresa?
I don't recall who they told me who, but somebody in the selectman from Irisburg. The older one.
Nice.
Oh,
He just-
well,
I
hey,
just
at least
Oh,
it's-
he collects them, doesn't he, personally?
Hmm?
He collects them personally, doesn't he?
The select, I had no idea.
Nice, good,
Yep, so the older one sold, I got the check yesterday.
perfect.
Yes, and both of the other two, the road department trucks, actually, that's another addition to the agenda. You guys need to affirm that decision.
Yep, got it.
Forgot about that. Maintenance department, that all seems fine. There was nothing out of whack there. Library, same way. I didn't really see anything. Their health insurance seems low, but is there a reason, Teresa?
I believe one of the employees that was budgeted for it may not using them, right? Using the insurance.
I can check into it and see what's going on there.
Okay, I just want to make sure if we actually need to, if something's getting charged somewhere else, that it gets
Yep.
in the line, but. Now we get into the weird wonky ones. That's my old position and the town manager position. Joel's position is the only one that's fairly straightforward. Mine is kind of a combination mess of my old salary, Katie, whatever, but it still is under budget from what it was proposed to be. Joel's line item right now is showing also a negative that we're actually spending less than what he's actually getting paid, but part of that's costs have not been attributed because he did get a new computer this year, which we had in the budget, and some other things that need to be moved around. The town manager line item is actually underspent despite everything that's gone on with multiple people and everything else. So it's so far so good on that line. And I believe part of that's Katie is in there too, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So then we get to the general fund where a lot of the blank numbers you're going to see are all the appropriations that come out, and Teresa does those in November. The one thing we need to fix is I believe we have these two line items are switched around, what's supposed to be spent out of them. The listing services and the reappraisal, we've got the dollar amounts are kind of backwards. But we can fix that. It's not a big deal. They came out about exactly what we expected them to be. The insurance, I asked Teresa, and this was basically our last payment from last year. It came out in January of this year, so that's why we're over what we had budgeted. So as far as our FEMA reimbursement, so that's gonna be, I'm not sure what's going on with that right now. And with the government shutdown, I bet nothing's going on right now. But they did split out three of our culverts. They've pulled out of the project for reimbursement. They're gonna set those up as a separate project, and we're gonna have to go back to the state and have those recertified, and we may have to do work on them so that those three could be a year or more out before we're going to get reimbursed for those. And I haven't gotten clear guidance from them. They're waiting for somebody higher up to make a decision of what they're going to require. But they did say they're pushing the rest of the projects through. So hopefully we see a reimbursement sometime before the end of the year, but I'm not going to guarantee anything. Our interest expense is high because we had to pay the interest line on the FEMA line of credit. CPA, that's our audit that we had done. We knew that was going to be high, and that's going to be high. We're going to have to budget for that better the next couple of years because that's going to be a big expense. When we get into the water project, we can probably charge that off to the water project. I don't believe right now, at least looking at where we are with the wastewater treatment plant, that there will be funds available to bill it back to that project, which was what we were hoping for, was there would be available funds that we could charge it back to that program because they're eligible expenses. But with the additional costs we've had with foundation support and all that, I'm not going to count on getting that back. But we're required to do it because we've already spent over $750,000. So everything else is pretty much, I don't know what a miscellaneous is yet, but we clean those all up as we get to the end of the year. And lake protection is the other one that shows way over budget, but that's because we actually get a grant that comes back in to cover part of that. I think it's about $8,000.
I think
So-
it's 75 something.
Say,
Yeah, yeah.
the grant covers half of that whole program.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not quite sure at what point will we get reimbursed. I know that she had sent and requested from the Lake Association all the paperwork that's supposed to be submitted, and I just need to follow up to make sure they actually turned it all in. So when you get down to the bottom, it shows on the expense side, we're about 8% below, under budget, which is a good place to be right now. A lot better than 8% over budget. So I'm
8%
with
under
what we're
budget
looking
for
at.
where we should be today, not 8%
Correct.
under budget for the entire year.
Correct. For where I expect we should be today.
That's an important detail.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you took the total budget and took out what we've spent, yeah, it'd be a way different number. That's why I never liked the NIMRIC report, because everyone would look at it and go, oh, look, we're $1 million under budget. Well, not really, because we haven't paid all the
Rolling.
expenses out.
It's through. Yep.
That's why I kind of changed to this format of reporting. So, here's kind of what we expect to have spent, and here's what we have spent. And so let's just keep a little better eye on where are we as far as the year goes. And the revenue line items you've got down there, they don't mean a whole lot yet, because the tax revenue is not coming, hasn't started. $525 is all she collected in property taxes in August. So the bills had just gone out.
Come on.
Wish that
So
was my bill.
yeah, truly. So the idea is that Teresa and I are going to try and get this tightened up by sometime, hopefully by the end of October. So maybe the first meeting in November, we can start like playing with numbers for next year to see where we want to be. So you guys should kind of start digesting, kind of look at the areas where we're over, under, what are you thinking? What are your wish lists for what you'd like to see in the budget? I'm going to talk to Nick and all of our departments to make sure that, if they have wish lists or there's big projects that we know we're going to have that we are going to be budgeting. I know we need to see about painting town hall next year. And repairing all the damaged wood on the building, because it's going to get away from us if we don't.
Okay.
How much money do we have, set aside for that?
Hold on.
You might want to put some more money in.
Yeah, I know we don't have enough, because we put that aside years ago when we had an estimate of what it was going to cost back then, but times have changed.
Isn't it about 40,000?
I'm thinking it might even be a little more than that, but let me make sure.
Okay.
Let me look. I got my annual report right here. $45,000.
Okay.
$67.15 as of December last year.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll hold or not, probably not.
$67.
No, probably 100,000 maybe.
The whole thing.
No, that'll buy you a gallon.
Well,
Okay. So any questions related to that for him, for Mike or for Teresa?
Any more on the budget? And if you guys get home and you look at it and you have questions, feel free to email me, call me. It's a work in progress.
Next on the agenda is the burn policy review. Bill, have you?
And that is
been able-
actually, Heather, I did want to let you know, that's actually an ordinance, not a policy.
Oh, yep.
Oh, okay.
That's a different, different animal. When I went looking for the policy, I was like, oh, that's an ordinance. That's not a policy.
Okay, so does that change? I mean,
It just changes how you adopt it. There's, warnings and all
Right.
that kind of stuff that have to go with that.
the
More so than-
process of reviewing it's still gonna be the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can go review it anytime.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Rick yet.
Okay.
A little bit today, but not much.
We're gonna leave it on the agenda so that we don't forget about it.
Well, I
So-
just wanna make sure it's done before next spring so we can get it adopted and
What is it that we're looking to change in it? I mean, I
I
guess
don't-
that's a discussion you guys
I
should
don't know
have.
yet.
There's something you want changed.
We don't know yet. This is follow-up as a result of the
other, sure,
questions.
Kobe.
The conversation with the fire department and sheriff.
I
Oh,
know
okay.
one thing they discussed was 55-gallon drums.
Where the backyard burning and the burn map where you're not allowed to have fires in the village and that stuff. So, and I know that it was commented that we needed to make sure that we had an enforcement procedure in the ordinance, so. And that was something that Trevor had
Yep.
said that he wanted. All right, so
Isn't this what here?
that's our current policy and we all have the
Yeah,
map.
I know, so what was the question about enforcement?
They wanted it wider,
You don't have any.
signed specifically.
Designation of enforcement personnel.
Yeah, it's basically the police. Well, actually,
You got
it's
the
the police
sheriff,
you can appoint, you can appoint somebody as well.
yes,
Those are the people who can enforce the ordinance. Those are
That's
not
right.
necessarily the people who want to.
no,
Right,
no, but I mean, yeah,
right. They wanted a review of that section.
okay.
So Bill took the charge of getting with the people.
I'm actually going to the next fireman's meeting.
Perfect. Next up is the personnel policy section review. And my bad for not giving Jean a copy of that. So I'll slap that through the copier because this is my copy from last time.
Okay.
I'll give you a copy of that. We're looking at, you do have a copy of the entire policy.
Yep.
So we're talking about last meeting were the sections on bereavement and the sections on what do they call that? Comp time. Had anyone had a chance to look over those? The information to see if we can and have thoughts on how to update that.
Did you,
Yeah, what sections of those?
They were sections.
sick, retirement, leave,
I know it
but
says
pay.
bereavement. You would think I remember.
Yeah, well, we
section
don't
that
actually
was-
have a bereavement policy.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
No, all we
Says-
do,
Oh, that's probably why it's not there. right?
yeah, all we have is something that just says, right now, all it says is there is some leave. That's
Yes.
all our bereavement. And it's all that's said in the whole document about bereavement.
Okay,
Yeah,
So
it
that's
says-
why I've got samples and then there's a very small blurb on comp time. And we have another sample of comp time to see if we wanna review those and stick those in. If we can, we'll leave that one on for next time. So we can come
Yeah,
back and
actually,
maybe
it
we'll
looks
have.
like our policy says parental leave, family leave, injury leave, death in the family. You know, I guess we need to figure out what
Yeah,
are
we need to-
those, and because those aren't all in here, I know that.
Right. So I'll give this to Jean because she wasn't here last time and maybe we can have some thoughts and ideas on that section for the next one. And then we can move on to the pay orders, which will come from Teresa. I'm gonna make copies right now before
Do you
We're
want to
good.
affirm your,
you guys
affirm
still have
your
copies of these from
decision
last time.
I
on the
still got
truck
mine, yes.
sales?
oh, the truck sale,
Yes, so we can talk.
We
quick
just need a motion to affirm the decision to
Yep.
sell the two old uninspectable road crew trucks.
So there were two uninspectable road crew trucks. We got emails on that earlier. And we need to. I'm gonna let that make
Affirm
its
that
noise.
decision.
I need somebody to make a motion to affirm the decision to sell those items.
Can you tell me what's wrong with the red dump truck, Mike, or do you know?
Your foot goes to the floorboard.
No.
Oh, the floorboards are all gone.
nothing like a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
piece of
it's
tin
in-
can fix that.
That truck was in bad shape when we took it out of service, and I don't know why we kept it back then, because we'd spent a ton of money repairing it. And that's when we
Oh,
didn't.
I
have
thought that had
to-
the tank in it.
It
It
did,
did.
and that's why
And
they
we-
kept it to use it, but it wasn't
Can't
really
inspect it.
great. It was, and it's not inspectable at all anymore, and it doesn't work. Nick even bought parts for it. He was trying to fix it so they could continue to use it for a chloride truck, and the parts he bought didn't work. He took them all back. He said, "This is not worth our time to try and fix. It's not usable, and it's not inspectable now." So we
It's
couldn't.
not, if it's not inspectable and it's not usable and it's not,
No, but I was just wondering what the reason was, that's all.
Yeah.
nobody wants to Fred Flintstone it.
Heather, can you read that motion then? Because I forgot what you said about how to go about making the motion. If you do, then I'll.
You can just say what she said. Did you get it, Teresa?
I don't remember what she
Can I get somebody to make the motion to affirm the sale of the 2 uninspectable vehicles? I make that motion.
Well, I'll make that motion.
And a second,
I'll second
all in favor?
Aye.
it.
Aye.
Aye. Was that all the ayes?
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
And then you should do your bench too, probably. Don't forget that one.
I don't know, but do you want me to go ahead and?
Yeah, go
talk
ahead.
about the bench?
Sure. Please.
I will read this email. So we have an email, and maybe Mike and maybe Joel will know it. You know, I've got too many papers here, guys. So Heather's moving her stuff around to find the email with size 2 font on it. Look at that. Teresa can read my mind. We have a property, somebody who wants to put a bench in Island Pond in memoriam of a friend from Island Pond who passed away, is looking to find out what the protocol for requesting that they can put that in. They would like an area somewhere near the water if possible. And I know that we do have some along the walking path. So they're looking to find out, yeah, Mike, we can't read that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got it right here, though.
Yeah, they're looking for what the process is
Mhm.
and how they go about putting that in. So can somebody help direct us so I can provide a response?
Well, you ought to ask what kind of bench.
Right.
Okay,
If it's gonna be used by the people as like,
It- It should look
Rocky.
similar to what we have there already, if they're gonna put it there.
and I think that's great. I really,
Yeah,
I can send pictures to them of the benches that we have and ask them what kind they're looking. Is there any special permits or anything? Or they just,
No, it's just a thing that the select board can approve. But
when
the
they give us
benches,
what they're
just-
doing?
Just so you know, the benches that we've got there, those granite benches, those are like not cheap. Those
Oh, I know,
are
I bought one for a headstone for my father.
$1,500 at least, probably now.
they're not
Years
asking.
ago, it was 1,800. For the one I bought for my dad's headstone.
Right, just so these people know.
Yeah.
We
We
don't,
have plenty of room for it. I would think we could find a spot.
Yeah, and said
Look nice.
good spots.
yeah, they do look nice down there. That's why I said similar to what we have.
So what happens if they don't want to put that kind of money in it? Do we put the bench somewhere else?
Well, we find out what kind they want to put in and we offer them
Yeah.
options for what they want.
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if they just want to put in like a regular, like the benches we put around town already, we could put it on, one of the sidewalk spots where we already put a bench. If they're just going to buy a regular bench, put a plaque on it. I
right.
see that that's
I'll-
an issue. I
I'll-
mean, some of
I
our
just hope
benches
we
are
haven't
getting
put
old, so it's
headstones.
probably fine.
Yeah.
There you go.
I will reach out to them and let
Don't buy a
them.
These
picnic
two?
table. We need picnic
Yep, these
tables.
two.
That's nice.
I'll just don't
I should buy them.
start putting headstones out there.
I will reach out to them with that information then.
And find out where they would like to set it.
The email says they would like to set it somewhere
Near
near
the
the water if possible.
They can put it at my place.
And they said, it says, my name is Aaron Morris, dear friend Marcus King, property owner, Island Pond, lost his mother Diane King last week. She and her husband, George King, had a home in Island Pond and enjoyed many years there as a family. I was curious if the town would be open to having a memorial bench placed in George and Diane's honor. Open to where the board feels appropriate somewhere in the town, possibly near the water. I would like to know, Yep. I don't know what the protocol would be to formally request this, but I was hoping to be able to assist me. So I will give them the information.
The other thing is you don't want anything that's too lightweight or it will be in the water.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
That's that.
that's quite similar.
Or in the back of somebody's truck.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right? I need to get to Newport to get this. That's it, smiles, man. Oh, look at that. Oh, Mike brought me a gift.
I like how they take a picture, they give you a picture of the Brighton.
Don't know what it is.
I wouldn't have known, but yes, good.
You broke a shovel. No.
Excuse me.
Last.
No, I can see they did pick up on real water bill.
Here's your gift. That's a big one. That was nice and small.
Here, the paper clip is spinning. It's some paper.
Can we budget for some larger paper clips? Just grab one. quick. I have lots of big.
We're saving money, Heather. We're saving money.
Yeah, but if you have to throw them away because you can't reuse them. Hmm.
Therese is all about economizing on the office supplies.
Yep, recycle.
Oh, and just an FYI, our new door locking software should be installed next week, I think. Hallelujah.
Yay!
That's taken only what, 4 months to get somebody to actually show up to do it.
Ambulance.
Oh, we should have touched on that insurance thing when we were talking about the budget. But our increase on health insurance for next year is minuscule. I mean, it's literally on the single plan, it was like $20 a month. It was really, I was quite impressed with where our rates are going. And they didn't really terribly change the benefits a whole lot. You know, the deductible went up $100, I think. What I put that.
So which plan are we
We are
offering our employees?
the standard gold. Here, I'll put it on the screen.
Standard gold, okay,
Oh, right here.
in the gray column under the word gold.
Where it says, that's the one.
Let's see if I can pick the right one. 2026. So we are, yes, MVP in the gray here, the gold one. And so our new rate's 1,020, but for 25, we were 1,009. So it's only actually $11 up
For a single.
for a single. The thing is, even the families didn't go up. It was pretty relative. I think the most was a full family plan went up like, let me see. 28,
Never mind.
35, 28. Yeah, the full family went up
Okay.
$31. That was the highest one.
Most, yeah, okay, okay.
The deductible
questions on that part?
$100 and the max amount of pocket went up $100.
Okay, we have other business. Oh, whoop, I skipped one. Approve the minutes from the last meeting. They are somewhere here. Staples. Everybody gets a chance to review those, and then I will take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes to the previous meeting.
And a second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right, Jean wasn't here. You can't say.
I didn't say a thing. It was
Oh,
all
Jean's
right
awful quiet over there. Okay, other business. Okay, if there's no other business, then we will move into the executive session. Jean,
Oh,
in bold print.
I'll make a motion that we enter into executive session in order to discuss personnel matters under the provisions of Title I, Section 313 of the Vermont statutes, finding that premature public knowledge would substantially disadvantage the town. No decisions are expected following the executive session with the members of the board and the town manager.
And a second,
Michael.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Good.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank-
So we can stop the recording.
Yeah. Okay, so now,
Okay.
hold on,
So
let me let this person back
Oh,
in.
okay. Oh,
There's the person still in the waiting room.
We,
Okay,
we exited executive session at 6:32 with a motion by Jean, a second by Mike, and an all of us in favor. I would now like to entertain a motion to, and no action was taken. I would now like to get a motion to adjourn for the rest of the night.
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll
And a
second.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.